Hi, good evening, assalamu alaikum, shashri akal, and namaste. Today I'm joined by an unusual guest. Has nothing to do with politics. That's really important to clarify because often what we cover or who we speak to on Janta Ka Reporter are political figures. So we have Mr. Frank F. Islam. Now, many of you who wouldn't know him, let me just tell you who he is. He's AMU alumni to start with, because AMU has been in news. He's done pretty well. I mean, he's described as IT entrepreneur or innovator. He's done pretty well in America. He's a philanthropist. He's an investor. I don't know how best you want to be described as, Mr. Islam.
That's
but
good.
Thank you very much.
I'm a civic leader and thought leader.
Civic leader
and I write
and thought
columns
leader.
in India, all over the country. My columns goes everywhere in the
That's
in the
important
world.
because Mr. Islam has been writing frequently on matters related to India via IANS, I think, news agency.
Yes, yeah.
That's why he gets featured on all the newspapers and all.
Right. It's a wire service. And
Correct.
the second thing that I also do every week, my foundation sponsors Inclusive India, where the small business enterprises and people who have had the obstacle and challenges in order for them to be successful, what made them to be successful.
And you've also been supporting the students, particularly in the mass communications from AMU for quite
And
some time.
also I've been supporting the journalists who come from United States to India to talk about the democracy, the values, the character and conscience of and we did last year, we sponsored one student from Hindustan Times who came to the Missouri School of Journalism, which is through the Alfred Press Friendly Partners. And he happens to be a student of a graduate of Aligarh.
Yeah.
But before that, he was a Smita Rajan who works with DNA. So we have been doing it for 2 years because I think the democracy and the freedom of press is a very important and a cornerstone of not only America's values and America's democratic values, but also for India.
So it's like your way of giving back to, the country.
It is a way of giving back to not only to India, but to believe in democracy and freedom of press, which is important.
So the values, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what brings you here? Of course, this is your country of origin. I mean, I shouldn't be asking this, but you are here, and you are here at a time when almost the entire country is talking about your alma mater, So what brings you here? I'm sure you were here for a good reason.
So the purpose of Rifat, thank you very much for coming over here into me. We greatly appreciate it. And
no, pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
I had an opportunity to talk with you when we were in Dubai. When I got the SASIA, the Global Leadership Award for the philanthropy, which was a wonderful.
Congratulations.
And then I gave a speech there. Yeah. It was well received, and it was in every newspaper.
Huge crowd out there.
It was a good crowd.
500 people there.
And you know what? They're all Aligarhians, though. So we are bonded together with the shared values and shared interest. So purpose of my trip to come over here to inaugurate Frank and Debbie Islam in the Auditorium, which is located in the Mass Communication, which is the Department of Journalism at Aligarh Muslim University, and also to inaugurate the Frank and Debbie Islam Innovations and Entrepreneurship Center at the Frank and Debbie Islam Management Complex, which we financed it about when we inaugurated 2 years ago. So I've given close to $2.75 million to Aligarh Muslim
I'm aware
University.
of that. Yes.
Aligarh made me who I am. What's best in me I owe to Aligarh. Aligarh shaped India, India shaped Aligarh. And Aligarh's principle has always guided me throughout my life when the time is calm and the crisis. And there are certain values of Aligarh, and that one of them is passion and love and commitment to education, which empowers the mind, uplifts the soul. It's a powerful equalizer to lift people out of the poverty. And as President Obama said, education will be the currency of the 21st century. So I came here unfortunately, the situation is now very favorable at Aligarh Muslim Universities, and I'm not really sure what the situation is, but it is not very favorable. So the Vice Chancellor has instructed me not to come because they cannot guarantee my safety and security. So that's the price I have to pay.
Wow.
So we will not go there. But I would say that the people in India needs to know the Aligarh Muslim University is a precious possession.
Correct.
Aligarh shaped India. India shaped Aligarh. So we should not be living, and this university has been founded by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, who was the founder, who believe in Muslims and communal peace and harmony.
Unity,
He always felt that we are in this together. Together we can help shape a better future for India. And just like Pandit Malavia, who was also founded to be a Jew, who also said this country is not for Hindus, this country for Muslims or Jain, for Parsi, and we need to come together. So the same philosophy that Sayyid Ahmad Khan had, which I subscribe to that.
You said you said one thing quite profound, and you repeated it twice, that Aligarh shapes India, AMU shapes India, and India shapes AMU. Isn't it ironic that, a prestigious educational institution which has produced crown jewels like yourself, and there are many others.
Oh, Vice President Ansari came. Zakir Hussain was the president.
Every field, right?
It's not just the politics, the business, the entrepreneurship,
education,
and also education,
civil services,
everything.
Yeah, and yet that education institution is continuously being vilified and attacked, to extract political mileage by vested interest group.
Well, I'm on a foreign soil.
Correct.
I'm a foreigner. I'm an American.
You don't have to name any political party.
But the fact of the matter is, the people who do these things, they do not have their facts base. They are live in an island of ignorance. If they knew about the values and the character and conscience of Aligarh Muslim University and what it has done to India, to shape India, and all, then they will understand that this is not the way. They should not be divisive. They have to figure out how to come together, and also they have to be above the angry partisanship. And that's something they need to think it through, that not to become a divisive. And they need to also say that we need to build together an inclusive, tolerant, diverse India, so that everyone has equal opportunity and inclusive economic mobility. And if the 200 million Muslims and 200 million Dalits succeed, which is 400 million, which is a large population, the population bigger than the United States, India succeeds, and the world succeed, and all of us succeed, because we are in this together. And they need to think it through, that it's important for all of us working together to build a stronger and fairer India. And also, what is important, as I see it, that to give opportunity to everybody, regardless of color, creed, and we also need to make sure that the voices that divide us, we need to make sure that those voices do not divide us; they bring us together.
Look, I completely agree with you. I have not seen anybody from AMU who has spoken about, which is not inclusive. I mean, classic example of yours. You just mentioned two names who you have recently, financed their the journalistic program. One of them was that Hindustan Times, and other one was Smita Raj.
From the DNA.
DNA.
Right.
And you never, their religion, their background, the caste was hardly
That was
any
not
consideration.
important, because their qualification was the criteria to judge and to bring the fellowship from, regardless who they are, from India, to understand the democratic values of United States. They can go back to their respective country, which is India in this case, and to the place where they work, to get the good things they have learned from America, to use that in India. That was the intent.
I met a girl, and I'll spare you blushes. I met a girl in Dubai. She's a daughter of an huge, sort of industrialist, still barren. And she was sharing, the sort of her experience, how you came forward and funded her education in America. Even though she could have done that, but
that was a very nice effort to do that. It's not what one individually accomplishes, it's what you do to make a difference in society, to be a difference maker. Because we have a very short time on this planet of Earth, and we need to make a difference. We need to make sure that other people are successful, and that's what our community does. This is what we believe in it.
And here we are. You've traveled all the way from America to sort of inaugurate by investing millions of rupees, to inaugurate.
Well, it's about $370,000. That's what it cost me.
Exactly.
Because the 22 people traveled with my family member came here,
and they all are stuck.
They're deeply disappointed. They cannot go to Aligarh Muslim University. My parents went there, my grandparents there, my great grandfather went to school, all my siblings went to Aligarh. And Aligarh shaped my story and determined my destiny.
Yeah. But what does it say about the future of, or about, India's commitment towards education? Two important piece of thing that you would have inaugurated tomorrow. Hundreds and thousands of students would have benefited that.
Very well said.
They all are held back because of one silly political agenda which somebody wanted to just, play on the campus.
Well, I do not know much about who are these people, but
No,
I
we
would
know,
say,
but we
but
don't
I
want to
say
make it
to, I
political.
say those people that you live in an island of ignorance.
Yeah.
We should be fighting together against the poverty and hunger and disease, rather than being a divisive, because we need to build India. Becomes a global beacon of hope and democracy around the world. We have a problem in this country in terms of the healthcare. Healthcare is sick. I mean, people do not have access to healthcare. People do not have access to the affordability of the educations. These are things that we need to fight together rather than becoming political divisiveness, and that does not serve the purpose of this country.
So you are one of India's own, as it were.
Well, I was born here.
You're born here.
And I like India because it is a beacon of, I consider as a peace and diversity.
And you see the opportunity here.
Yes.
What does these kind of events, do to your morale? Your kind of like the future excitement that, does it deter you from, investing more in India, or consider India, as a destination where you should be investing in these key areas in future?
Well, I think you have said it, deter. I relish my heritage, but the things like that obviously makes people like myself and other investor who wants to invest in India that this is not the way to. This kind of ugly behavior of divisiveness is not good for India. It does not reflect good for India also. We should not look at the heaven and the God that we worship. We should see the family that we are on the earth together, and that's something that needs to be done in this.
And
country.
This is something your great friend. Not many people would know that Mr. Islam's enjoys very close camaraderie with former U.S. President Barack Obama.
He's a good friend.
He's a good friend,
and he said the point when he
lectured
came
India
here.
on that, yes.
Well, I don't know, so he lectured, but he said, and I had a dinner with him a night before.
You were there. Okay.
I would travel with him.
Right.
And then he went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
He used the word that we need to embrace the richness of the religious diversity.
Absolutely right.
Because diversity is a strength that brings us together.
Yeah. So what happens now? So you're not able to go there. So these two projects will be on hold until your next visit, when this will be formally inaugurated, right?
Well, I will come back in October. Hopefully I'll bring my wife, because my wife's name is there, and she's an American. Mm-hmm. So she will take a pride in it, and she took the pride in it. So we just have to wait and see what happens. So my intent will be to come back and inaugurate the complex and inaugurate the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, which is, I would like to see Aligarh becomes a place that is very much similar to what this Silicon Valley is, which is the closer to the Stanford University. Created Facebook, created not Microsoft, but created Google's and many other venture that has shaped the world. And that's what I wanted to see Aligarh becomes that. And it is everybody, regardless of race and color and creed and caste, and everybody can have equal opportunity, can come together and create another Silicon Valley in the close to Delhi. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to do?
It's only 2 hours away from it.
Exactly. And that was my desire, was to create the Entrepreneurship Innovation Center, to create a new Silicon Valley right in the heart of Aligarh, close to Delhi.
You see, one of the things that there is a unanimity in India that every time there's an election, this Aligarh becomes prominent, it acquires prominence in national politics. That's because, the people who are the flag bearers of fake nationalism, it suits the agenda. The reason why I'm using the fake nationalism, because this is something that has been grappling even the population in America. The nationalism has come at the fore, for the last few years. How do you tackle that there in America, whereby the education institutions don't get affected by the politics, of the political parties?
Well, first of all, I'm not really sure why the political parties have to attack only one institution and not the other institution. So that's something I think that their fact is based on fiction,
Yeah.
not based on the facts. They have no facts, and so that's something that I don't quite understand it, because the students, whether they're Muslims or Hindu, who are they are born and raised here. They're Indians, just like myself, who
Yeah.
made it in America.
Yeah.
And my story can only happen in America because of the fact that America gave me the opportunity to succeed. The values and the qualities of America, the inclusiveness and openness that provided me letters of opportunity to succeed. These are the values that we can proudly and truly embrace. So going back to so something that I do not quite grasp the gravity, and then they talk about some other things, and trying to become a divisive. And if this is the way to get the vote, then I guess I don't want to be part of the party that does that.
Yeah.
So this is not something that, and in America, that is a little bit different. In America, they do not attack one institution, become divisive. That is, and Trump administration is not the best. They do not represent my values, character, and conscience of America. And this is not the way the American has been. America has always been a land of immigrant. And immigrants infuse this nation, in America, with far horizons and new frontier, thereby keeping the hope alive and well. That's the quote President Kennedy did observe in his book in 1950, The Nation of Immigrant, because we are a nation of immigrant.
True.
So demeaning and demonizing immigrant, that does not reflect the value of America that we know of. And I think that that's something that I have a problem with and challenges. So we'll make a change, and the way to make a change, to become a change agent in America, and I hope that happens here also, if that's what it's all about, is to ensure that we get engaged civically, politically, individually, organizationally, to make a change, to become a change agent. And that's what Mahatma Gandhi wanted to do.
Correct.
That's what he did.
I promise to Janata Ka Reporter audience that next time when Mr. Islam is here, we will accompany him, to Aligarh Muslim University for the
wouldn't that be
inauguration.
wonderful?
Yeah.
I will be here in October, and I'll give you my card so that we can keep in touch.
Absolutely.
And then we'll do that. Thank you very much.
And we'll keep you updated about his next, sort of philanthropic works in the field of education in India. Because as he said, particularly in the context of AMU, that Aligarh Muslim University shapes India and India shapes AMU. So there is a kind of direct correlations we need to cherish and celebrate in future.